Hi, everybody. We're going to tell you the last gospel. Well, yeah, the last gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John's story. Mark didn't have one. Matthew had one. Luke had one. Luke had a long one. I had to do two parts on Luke. Man, Luke, he just wouldn't keep going on about it. Oh my gosh. John, John, on the other hand, his is a little bit different, and he's kind of short and sweet and straight, direct to the point, because I believe his only lasts the first 16 verses of chapter 1. Uh, yeah, John. John's the man. He's like, he's. This is not John the Baptist. This is John, the disciple John. Disciple John who wrote the book of John. He's short, sweet, straight, direct to the point, and he don't beat around the bush about stuff. He's direct. John is the direct disciple. He's like the direct disciple. When you read the Gospel of John, he tells you the facts. He tells you the good stuff, and he tells you the important stuff. He's like direct. He's direct. Even with his Christmas story, he's direct, because he's got it done in 16 verses. He's direct. And he starts off direct with John 1:1, which is, in the beginning was the Word, Logos. That's what word in Greek is, Logos. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God, and He was in the beginning with God. And Logos, the Word, is Jesus. So John literally states directly, straight to the point, that in verse 1 and 2, in the beginning, time, eternity past, was the Word, Jesus. And the Word, Jesus, was with God. So Jesus has always been. And the Word was God. So Jesus and God are one. He was in the beginning with God. So he repeats himself, just in case y'all didn't get it. If you didn't get it, he says it like 3 times. God, Jesus, one, and we're at the beginning of time, eternity past. Always been, always will be, and always are going to be. And verse 3, now here's why he came. It says the pre-incarnate work of Christ. This is what he did before he even came on earth. It says all things were made through him. So the whole entire universe was made through Jesus, and without him nothing was made that was made. So we didn't have evolution. We didn't have Big Bang theories. We didn't have any of that creation of the universe. Jesus, as God, created the universe. When did he do that? Way back in Genesis chapter 1, when the universe was created. Who created the universe? God. Who is God? Jesus. Jesus is God? Yes. Boom. And he created everything. It says, in him, Jesus, was life, and the life was the light of men. So Jesus created the light, and Jesus is the light of men. 5, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So, who's the darkness? Darkness is sin, the devil, Satan, the darkness. The darkness, evil. So, evil can't grasp in concept good, light. They don't understand the light. The light, the blessed gospel light, let it shine forevermore. Let it shine from shore to shore. Now, we're going to talk about the forerunner of Christ, verse 6. And there was a man sent from God whose name was John. See, John talks about John, but he ain't even worried about how John got there. He's just like, okay, there's this guy named John. Like I said, straight to the point. This man came to to be a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. He was not that light, but he was sent to bear witness of the light. So John's telling us that John the Baptist is not the Messiah, but the precursor and the foreshadower of the Messiah. He came to tell you that the Messiah's on his way, and he's coming. He's fixing to be here. So get ready. Get ready. Now, verse 9 and through 11 is talking about how some people rejected Christ. That was not the true light which gives light to every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. And he came to his own, and his own did not receive him. So this basically says that John's stating that Jesus was rejected by the world and his own people. Right here, that he was rejected by the Jews, and he's rejected by the world. And he's still rejected. Most of the world, they don't want to hear about Jesus. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. They don't care. They celebrating Christmas with Santa Claus and good things, but they don't want to hear about Christ. They don't want to hear about Jesus. They don't want to hear about a little baby. They don't want to hear about that he came to save us of sins. They don't want to even hear about sin. So yeah. And verse 12, we got. But then there are people who accept Jesus too, the acceptance of Christ. So there's rejection and there's acceptance. It says, but as many as received him, to them, me, you, anybody who receives Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior, he gave the privilege, the responsibility to become children of God. Children. We become children of God. God is the ruler of everything. We are joint heirs of Christ, the ruler of everything. That makes us the ruler of everything too. Whoa, amazing. To those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. When you get saved, you're not born of blood. You're not born of your own personal will. You're not born of the flesh, this flesh. You're born of the Spirit. You are called by God. He directs you, and he calls you, and he makes you born again. 14, the incarnation of Christ. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. The glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So finally, Jesus is born. The Word, Jesus, became flesh and dwelt among us. And he became his glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, this was he of whom I said, he who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me, and of his fullness we have full received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace was come, and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has seen God at any time. This only begotten Son, who is of the bosom of the Father, he has declared him Son. So that's basically the short and simple thing. That's Jesus's gospel Christmas story from John's perspective. Remember that God is good all the time. All the time God is good. Jesus